yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 29. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this simulated Wednesday evening, Earth Day, December 10th, 2014. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
The term Indian burn, which is to grab somebody's skin with both hands and twist in opposite directions, stems from the 1940s in America.
Okay.
And they think that it's based on being racist
Okay.
for referencing the savageness of the Indians.
All right.
But before that, it predates back to England and Australia and New Zealand, where it is called the Chinese burn, where it's probably just as racist.
That's what I was going to say, equally as racist. Oh my goodness!
So there you go. Dropping some facts right at the beginning.
Right at the offshoot.
Facts that have absolutely nothing to do with this episode.
Anything that we're talking about at all. No. So how are you doing today?
Good. Ready to record something.
Yes.
Been ready to record something.
Yeah, for like an hour and a half now?
More than an hour and a half, but, you know, semantics.
7 hours later. What have you been doing this week?
I've been playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas.
Really?
Is what I've been doing, yeah.
Oh, it's really exciting.
I've been going through all of the DLC.
Ah, I see.
And I'm playing them in order, too.
You, sir, are...
crazy. My life is just insane.
The pinnacle of going in a timeline.
I know.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, I'd played 2 of the DLCs, the last 2. I hadn't played the first 2. So they were on sale through the Xbox for like Christmassy stuff.
Right.
So I grabbed 2 of them. I'm on the second one now, which is Dead Money. You have to go into an old abandoned casino that's been like kind of locked in time.
Okay.
And you fight zombies and stuff. Basically zombies. Not enjoying it at all. So I haven't touched it in a couple days because I kind of got stuck.
I got you. You also got a haircut. And you said that it kind of makes you look like a girl. And the more I look at you, the more I agree.
It doesn't make me look like a girl. It's just a girl's haircut.
It's only a girl's haircut in the sense that because of the way that it was cut, it's just kind of flaring out all over the place.
I look like a working woman. I look like I should be in, you know, power heels and a business suit, but with a conservative skirt.
Right.
Maybe an inch above my ankles. And I walk quickly down the hallway with my heels clicking and people are afraid.
It feels very Mary Tyler Moore. I feel like you're going to throw your hat up in the air and just not move.
I do that a lot, so the haircut's not going to change that. No, I had, I'm going to get my haircut this weekend.
Right.
So what I did was I pulled my hair back. It's normally in a ponytail. And it was pretty long, right?
Like, yeah, it really
almost down halfway down my back.
Yeah.
So I just put it in a ponytail and had Bree cut it right where the ponytail was.
Right.
So none of the stuff on the side was caught in it. So it's just short in the back, and yet totally flips out. Yeah. It's like a 1950s lounge singer, like a female singer. Actually, when I get home tonight, I'm going to put on a slinky red dress and lay on the top of a piano. And smoke a long cigarette and say, "Hello, boys."
Despite the fact that we're both wearing red t-shirts, I don't see you in a slinky red dress. I could say maybe a pearl. I would say a pearl-colored dress would look good on you.
Oh, I feel like when you wear white, it shows off too much of, like, bulges and stuff. Like, I don't wear white t-shirts anymore.
Yeah.
I tend to stick to black or red because it shows a little less of what's underneath, you know, the kind of lumpiness of just meat shoved into a trash bag. That is my naked body.
Yeah.
So maybe red, maybe black. Isn't black considered a traditional, like, isn't that kind of a girl thing? Like, especially a Cosmo kind of girl thing? Like, oh, I've got my black dress.
Dark colors, vertical stripes.
Well, I thought black dress specifically was like, ooh, she's putting on her little black dress. Well, I thought that's like your going out dress.
I mean, yeah.
Whereas mine is dirty jeans and probably a dirty black t-shirt. These are my going out clothes.
Yeah.
Maybe put on a sweater that hasn't been washed since I bought it from the thrift store. Yeah, I'm just hypothetically saying these things.
Yeah. Not that you'd ever do them.
Mm-mm.
Well, I hit level 100 In Warlords.
Oh, and Warcraft.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant in general.
No, yeah. My power level's now over 9,000.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that was fun. I ran a couple of dungeons in the wee hours of the morning this morning.
Oh, is that why you were up late?
One of the reasons. That was at like 3:30 though.
Have you done all of
I
them now?
didn't go to bed until 4. What?
Have you done all of the extra content now? Besides the, like, continuous stuff.
No, I did 2 dungeons that I had not even done yet because I don't think they're even available until you hit level 100, so. But I did get silver in the Proving Grounds with a 607 item level, and I know that means absolutely nothing to you, but I was kind of proud of myself.
Well, you know, it's good to have goals, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to make it through. And I'm not a super good Shadow Priest. I'm not terrible by any means, but I'll usually be within, like if I'm doing a raid or something, I'm usually within the top 10 DPSers, so out of 25.
Of the raid?
Yeah. So, I feel pretty good about that. As long as I'm within the top 10, that's all I really care about.
Is there, like, stuck-upness between Shadow Priests? Can you run into, like, another Shadow Priest out in the world, and they'll look at you like, oh, you only do this much DPS?
I mean, I'm sure there are people out there like that. I've never really run into any. But, I mean, if I see somebody who's out DPSing me who is also a Shadow Priest, I'm like, what are they doing that I'm not? But different people also have different playstyles. So, where their rotation might net them a better damage per second output, mine is much more comfortable for me to play. Like, I wouldn't be able to play their playstyle. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
So, would you be a Shadow Priest in the real world?
I'd probably be holy. I'd probably heal people. I like healing, too. I'm
saying not if you got to choose. Just if, like, suddenly you woke up tomorrow and the world, we all were class-based like World of Warcraft. Would you think you would still be put into a healing class?
I think it's a possibility. I mean, I honestly don't know. I really don't. I'm definitely a helper person.
I mean, you would definitely be a Pandaren.
Why would I not be a dwarf? I've been a dwarf all my life. Why would you call me a panda now?
Because I'm staring at you and you're just disgustingly covered in hair.
Right. So we're dwarves.
Are dwarves hairy all over, though?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you don't really ever see shirtless dwarves.
Yeah, oh, they're totally, especially with these new character models.
No, I don't think that dwarves are hairy
dwarves
all over.
Are hairy all over.
I think they just let their beards
they're like
continue
Sicilians.
to grow. So you're saying with dwarves you should never make a bet with them?
Yes.
Especially when their lives on the line?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying, Brandon.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. Nerves. So what do we have today?
That's an excellent question, sir. What do we have today?
I looked all over to find notes on things happening.
Yeah?
And it seems as we continue as we go on recording, have started to become more focused on, like, comic book news, movie news, entertainment-y stuff. So I was really looking in that wheelhouse to find stuff, and there's really not a whole lot going on.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing. So, nothing that you found particularly interesting then.
Yeah, and I mean, I scoured for a while.
Yeah. Well, the new card packs for Hearthstone dropped.
Yeah, that's why I said nothing interesting.
Right, Goblins versus Gnomes.
Oh, that dropped?
Yeah.
But you haven't played it, right?
I haven't... No, I've bought a bunch of packs, but I haven't integrated any of the cards into my decks yet.
Are there new people to fight?
No, these are just card packs that you can purchase or win through the arena matches. But the cards themselves are pretty awesome. There's a lot of, like... I honestly think you'd really like it.
Whenever you go in, what is it where you pay like $1.99 and you get to draft a deck?
That's the arena.
That's the arena?
Yeah.
Are they incorporated into the arena now, or do you just win the packs?
They replaced the... Well, I think they're incorporated now. I think they are.
So if you're to go into the arena to draft a deck, some of them may pop in.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you win, I mean, you're guaranteed at least one pack and some dust or something, right?
Yeah.
So I believe they said that those packs the classic packs have now been replaced with the Gnomes versus Goblins packs.
Okay.
So if you want to win them via the arena, you can do so that way. But like I said, there's They've worked in a lot of really neat mechanics with mechs and then cards that play off of other mechs that are out on the board. There's one, I think it's a legendary, or maybe a rare, or an epic. I don't even remember. It's one of the bigger ones. That when you summon it, it places a mine into your opponent's deck. And when they draw that mine, they take 10 damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, that is neat.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just stuff along those lines. Just, if you play a mech, it gains +2/+0, you know, or this creature gains +2/+0, or things of that nature. Or if this mech dies, its death rattle will summon another creature onto the board.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about this a little bit before, but you would assume that there'd be
They
something...
would parachute out.
Yeah, piloting within the mech, so it shoots up out of the mech and lands on the board.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In the same sort of like card news, Wizards announced that Modern Masters 2 is coming out in March or May.
So what's that?
Modern Masters, Wizards will print the core set once a year, which is, 2014, 2015, 2016.
Right.
Then they'll also release 2 self-contained sets. What we're at right now is Khans of Tarkir,
Okay.
and then January is Fate Reforged, and then Dragons of Tarkir is somewhere, I don't remember. And then they'll release a supplemental set,
Okay.
which is something that doesn't follow a story, it's just cards. It's just, hey, here's some cards that people were wanting, let's reprint them.
Okay.
So Modern Masters, the first one was released, I don't know, 2 years ago maybe, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3, whatever. And it reprints cards from Modern, which is a type of Magic tournament.
Right.
Replay Modern, which is anything from 8th edition on, so like the last 10 years-ish or so of Magic.
Gotcha.
And there are some cards that, to be viable to play in Modern, you just kind of, if you're playing blue, you need this card, or that card. Just everybody plays them, you need them.
Right.
So the first Modern Masters, what they did is said, hey, some of these cards that everybody needs, but that are like disgustingly expensive to buy anymore,
Yeah.
we're reprinting them in this set. So you can buy these packs, and a normal MSRP on a pack of Magic cards I think is $3.49. The MSRP on these are $9.99,
Okay.
which means you go to a comic book shop, that'll probably be like $12, $14.
Right.
But you have a way higher chance of opening some big money cards.
Gotcha.
So that's what it is. And this is from Scars of Phyrexia, or no, this is from Mirrodin up to Scars of Phyrexia that they're going to reprint the cards in.
Okay, I got you.
And one of the things they announced, there was like a big card that a lot of people play. It's an Eldrazi, which is like big monstery things. And he's like $55, $60 or so to buy him.
Yeah.
He's being reprinted in this set. So that'll drive down the price a little bit.
Well, that's good. Gotta keep that shit under control.
Yeah, that's the
Ain't
idea.
nobody can afford that expensive Eldrazi.
That's the idea of what they're trying to do. It doesn't work super well, but a lot of the time, but you can get lucky, because a lot of the times before the market kind of self-regulates and decides this old version's worth X, but the newer version is worth X minus $50 or whatever.
Right.
If you buy them right as they go, you have a pretty good chance of getting money cards, and the market hasn't decided yet, so those newer cards are going to sell for as much as the older ones.
Gotcha.
I mean, buying a box at like $200, $250, a box which is 36 packs,
Yeah.
chances are good you'll at least break even, if not make money, depending on what's printed. But, it's like playing the stock market.
Right.
You can have a card that's like, holy shit, this is worth $100, and then next week, oh, this is worth $15 now for some reason.
Yeah.
So, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to playing it. I won't really buy the packs, because I think it's kind of fucking pricey to spend $10 to $14 on a pack of cards when it's random.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to do a draft when the set comes out. And the draft will probably be $35, $40
Yeah.
to draft. Normally, they'll reprint a bunch of cards, but they'll still give it enough cohesion that you can draft it and play it as a set.
Right.
So, that's kind of fun. I'll probably do one draft of it and never touch it again.
Well, that sounds fun.
But yeah, that's a lot of people are excited about that. They're going to be reprinting a lot of pricey stuff, so.
So to recap what we're doing today, we're just going to go over a little bit of entertainment news and maybe drop in some just random stories that I thought were interesting along the way, if we've got the time. So, good, break right into it.
First thing I have is Apocalypse was cast in the next X-Men movie,
Okay.
which appropriately enough I think is called X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah?
And Oscar Isaac was cast. I don't know who he is. He's been in some stuff, none of which I recognized. He was in, if you've seen the Star Wars trailer, Force Awakens trailer that came out, there's a close-up of an X-Wing pilot getting shot at. You know what I'm talking about, Rem?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's him.
I just wasn't facing the mic, so I was pulling up his IMDb for us.
So I'm just talking to myself then.
No, I was
talking to
listening.
the back of your head.
I was
Were you listening?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
You said some things about him being a pilot.
Okay, cool.
So it looks like he plays a lot of just supporting roles, I think.
My favorite is that he played the character Fart Man in the movie Lenny the Wonder Dog. You know, the classic Lenny the Wonder Dog.
Yeah, of course. Everybody
And
knows Lenny the Wonder Dog.
You know, the best character in that, which was Fart Man.
Yeah, that was really good, whatever it was.
What I'm wondering is if they're going to give him kind of the Thanos treatment that they did with Josh Brolin in Guardians.
Uh-huh.
Because Apocalypse is, like, big, as in tall and beefy. Whereas this guy, he looks relatively beefy.
Right.
But I just hope they don't just, you know, like, throw some blue on him and he works out a little bit. Because Apocalypse is, like, 6 foot something at least. And is just huge. Almost Thanos level.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. So, for you nerds out there who like kind of medieval stories, he was in the Robin Hood movie with Russell Crowe.
Wasn't that movie shit, though?
It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible to watch, I don't think. He played Prince John in that. And I think he did a really good job.
Was that a pretty
Prince
main
John.
character?
Well,
I guess Prince John.
yeah.
A pretty main character in Robin Hood.
I used Prince John. I mean, of course.
I see from that poster Robin Hood has a bow and arrow. Is that new? Or
That's new to the story, right? He never had that before.
do they leave out... In that movie, do they still have the part where they exclaim, "He split Robin's arrow in twain"?
No, that was strictly Mel Brooks.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, as Prince John, is he big? Like, do you remember?
He's not a particularly built dude. I mean, you have to keep in mind, though, he was also wearing chainmail and some plate on top of that, so...
Oh, do you know anything about Apocalypse as a character?
Not a super amount, no.
Apocalypse calls himself the first mutant,
Okay.
and he kind of is the first mutant. You see him at the end of Days of Future Past. I talked about this before. You see him as a young boy being worshipped by the Egyptians.
Yeah.
His mutant powers continued to manifest over the years. Apocalypse ages a little bit, but he's kind of like an eternal figure. He has his weakness, and they might have changed this, but from what I remember, he has a weak spot in his back.
Okay.
And that's the only place you can hurt him.
So his Achilles heel is
His Achilles shoulder back.
back shoulder.
Back meat.
Back meat. Back flesh.
My back meats. And he can...
Oh, my back flesh!
His powers are those kind of nebulous, like, whatever the writer is doing with him at the time is what Apocalypse can do.
Oh, yeah.
He's super strong, can shoot lasers and stuff out of his eyes and his hands or whatever. He can shapeshift as one of his big things, so he can grow as large as, or as small as he wants and grow big axe arms and shit.
Well, then I guess it doesn't really matter the size of the actor.
Oh, yeah, but they need to have him walking around in, like, his normal 6-foot-ish big form.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they CG him a little bit. 'Cause, I mean, I don't want Apocalypse walking around as just some normal dude. Hey, I'm Apocalypse.
Hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm
Hey,
Apocalypse.
let's get some stuff going.
Yeah, let's go down to the taco shop and buy some tacos. It'll be super fun, guys.
That's why they call me Taco Apocalypse. So he kind of has this mentality continuing on as calling himself the first mutant, that everybody should bow to him.
Yeah.
Total megalomaniac. And he gets he picks 4 of what he perceives as the strongest mutants, and he makes them the 4 horsemen of Apocalypse.
Ah.
And he's constantly trying to bring about the end of the world.
That's not very nice of him.
No. So that's what the movie's going to center around. It's going to take place in 1983, so 10 years after Days of Future Past.
Okay.
In an interview with Simon Cronenberg, who is one of the head writers on Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse,
Okay.
somebody asked him, or the interviewer asked him, if Apocalypse was going to change the timeline, because one of Apocalypse's main stories is Age of Apocalypse.
Okay.
Where he changes a whole bunch of time travel-y stuff.
Right.
And the guy... And the guy said yes. So, gonna be a lot more time travel-y shit in the movies. It's gonna be awesome. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough.
Go see it when it comes out in 2 years. Get in line now, baby.
So, one of the stories that I found, which just kind of made me giggle, this is a bit of a tech story.
Okay.
And it's specifically for the ladies out there.
Oh, is this going to be creepy?
Yes, this is from Engadget, and they have reported that a Bionic Brawl is being developed that will automatically boost and loosen to keep your breasts in place. So, as most women know, shopping for bras is kind of a pain in the ass. I'm sure you've heard your girlfriend talk about, oh man, this brand of bra is just... Or some girlfriend along the line is like, man, this brand of bra just isn't fitting right. Most women have a breast that is larger, slightly larger than the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty commonplace as well. And they never seem to fit properly. And then even after that, once they start to kind of wear out a little bit, the straps will loosen up and, you know, gravity takes its course.
Just boobs falling everywhere.
Boobs just flying about.
Boob apocalypse.
Boob apocalypse.
So this bra adjusts to movement?
Yes, and it's been worked on for the past 15 years.
Past 15 years?
But
Jesus.
We're just now getting to the point where the technology is small enough to be worked into a bra. So we're talking things like sensors and actuators, and the sensors work the actuators to pull up or loosen out depending on how the bra is supposed to fit.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's been worked on, you said, for 15 years?
Yeah.
What the article, I bet, doesn't tell you is that 14 of those years were the scientists trying to see a pair of boobs. To then put them on there. And the first model was the size of a room, like the old computers. I mean, 15 years, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that, yeah, the technology's just getting to the point where they can have the, whatever you said.
The actuators and sensors and stuff small enough. Yeah.
So what were they doing before that? They just had, like, a bra hanging, like, on a mannequin and just like, someday, Bob.
Maybe
someday something's gonna be...
Like, how did they explain where all the funding was going, you know? I imagine that the funding was probably going to trying to make actuators and chips that were small enough to fit comfortably within a bra without being too bulky. And I mean, we've got a picture of the thing right here, and like I said, you can find this on Engadget. And
it looks like a sports bra with a piece of metal on the back.
It looks like a super sports bra. They liken it to a bulletproof vest, but it goes around the shoulder blades in an X pattern like a sports bra would. And then it has what looks to be like two lower clasps that go midway down the back, and it looks like the front of it is also almost like a t-shirt, or like a midriff showing t-shirt.
Like a corset?
No. Corset goes around
and pushes up.
Yeah. This is around the breasts and shows like the belly button. So, yeah. Just a random interesting piece of technology. It's also not machine washable, of course. So, I mean, you can't...
15 years?
15 years, and they can't even...
wash it in a machine?
You can't even wash it in a machine, because it's got electronics in it, so you can't wash electronics.
So you're gonna have the most technologically advanced, stinkiest bra on your block.
So here's the thing that I find interesting, because there are a lot of makers out there. Cody is a bit of a maker. He did his goggles. You'll be able to see on the Retrograders here in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Is when we recorded the episode just the other night, but it won't be up on YouTube for a little while. So you can find us at the Retrograders on YouTube. Shameless self-promotion.
On our own podcast.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thing because there are a lot of wearables, and he's wearing some goggles that he's soldered together and has some LEDs in them, and they spin and make some pretty lights. The people who do wearable electronics are doing really cool things with them, but a lot of them tend to be flashy instead of practical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is an interesting amalgamation of, something that's using technology that we would wear, or that females would wear. I mean, I might need one maybe in the future, but...
Well, you love technology enough that I could see you maybe trying one on.
Yeah, probably. Totally.
My God, Remington, your chest looks fantastic.
I know, what can I say?
Thank you. Connecting Wi-Fi detected. Little robot arm comes out, snatches a fly. Hold on, I'm doing some soldering.
So we're getting out of the realm of practical now. Like, why would my man bra, be snatching flies out of the air?
Somebody reaches over and cops a feel, and you're like, why, I never. And 4 robot arms come out of the back of your bra, and you just spider away. I'd never.
Oh, Jesus. Mr. Miyagiing flies out of the air?
I mean, 15 years. I guess maybe I just don't understand how long development of stuff takes. Because, 15 years, that would put us at 2099, somewhere in there, depending.
Right.
What was technology like in 1999? We didn't have, flat screen monitors for everyday use, really.
No, we were still using tube monitors.
We had, a 1.5 gig processor for your computer was pretty good.
Yeah.
Dual core, I don't even think they were talking about it at that point.
Yeah.
So technology has expanded so much in the last 15 years. So when they started, they just had... I like to think they got the funding by showing the higher-ups a bra that they just taped an iPod to. This is where we're starting, sir. We're pretty sure in no more than 15 years, it's going to be able to adjust slightly. It's going to be able to save women the pain of going and constantly shopping for bras, and we're going to price it at a reasonable $14,000.
Well, that's just it, though. The price of technology has dropped. Especially going back to the maker thing. You can buy microchips just right off the thing to solder to your PCBs and make your own circuit board. It's all relatively inexpensive as well.
And I know for $100 you can buy little computers that just have an operating system on them.
Yeah, like a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Install an operating system on it, or an Arduino that you can drop code onto, and it does just a plethora of different things.
So what happens when the operating system on that bra crashes? What does it do?
Well, I'm sure it doesn't have a proper operating system. I'm sure it's just a snippet of code, a series of code that would be pretty hard to quote-unquote crash.
Yeah.
It's...
What if you get a virus?
It's not...
And it's just always making your boobs pop out. I'm 5.
Yeah.
You're talking about boobs.
And here I'm trying to think of how to explain how that wouldn't happen. It's hardline code. You wouldn't be able to go in unless you hooked up to the Brawl somehow and hacked it physically.
What's interesting, though, I did actually read a little bit about this ahead of time. The right cup plays Pandora, and the left cup you can watch YouTube on.
You didn't read the story at all, did you?
No. I wish I had, though. I'd have a lot
right?
more of these jokes. Could pad out another 20 minutes with Robot Brawl jokes. Robrocalypse. I already made that joke.
Yeah, you really did.
I was trying to add Robo to it.
Yeah.
Really. So, speaking of...
Robot Brawls?
Robot Brawls. Or, in the larger sense... Speaking of things that nobody really needs.
Okay.
They've announced a new James Bond movie. The 24th James Bond movie.
Oh, yes.
They didn't say everything that there was to say about James Bond in the first 23 iterations, so now we have James Bond 24, Spectre.
Spectre.
Do you know who Spectre is? Outside of the notes that I have in front of you of who they are. Did you know them by name alone, being a James Bond fan?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember specifically what movie.
They were in Thunderball. No, they were in the book Thunderball.
Okay.
And in the movie Dr. No.
Okay.
Have you seen Dr. No?
Yeah. I've seen them all.
You've seen every James Bond movie?
Even the one with George Lazenby, yes.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one James Bond movie.
Really?
And it was enough, yeah.
It depends on who you watch, really.
I saw Goldeneye.
Eh.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't.
just wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
the game was better.
Oh, yeah, God, the game was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Fuck Spectre. Let's talk about Goldeneye for the Nintendo 64.
How awesome N64 Goldeneye was.
It's the only game I've ever seen my dad get into.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, we would have family tournaments of Goldeneye.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I guess we'll talk about James Bond. So Spectre in the James Bond world is a terrorist organization.
Right.
That stands for something stupid.
Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and Extortion.
I mean, they're just really trying to make Spectre fit.
Yeah.
You know, he thought of this awesome name, let's call him Spectre, and spell it the British way.
Yeah.
With the R-E instead of E-R.
Right.
So then, like, alright, Special Executive... so, I mean, and they have to use the S and the P from Special to fit in with Spectre.
Yeah, they do. It's easily a worse name than what S.H.I.E.L.D.'s acronym is. Someone
Helping in everyday lives daily. S.H.I.E.L.D. What is S.H.I.E.L.D.? Sandwiches have idyllic, eventual lives, don't they? Saruman hates indigenous elves lest they die.
No, S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division, which is still better than Spectre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spectre, it gets to the end and it's like, Special Executive, right, for Counterintelligence, sounds good. Terrorism. Fuck, we still have an R and an E. Rope? No.
Rambo?
Rambo.
No.
Good. Let's write that down, but let's keep spitballing.
Wait. What was Rambo out for?
About
It starts with an
6
R.
months before it went to video.
No. What was he out to accomplish? He was going out for...
Oh, revenge.
Revenge.
Okay, and then we have E.
Yeah.
Elvis.
No, Elvis is dumb.
I don't know. I think I'm really gonna stick to my guns on this Elvis thing.
Extraterrestrials?
That sounds good.
Well, no. We don't believe in aliens in the James Bond universe. Espionage?
Espionage.
I mean, that would make more sense.
Yeah, than extortion. It's like extortion's just added in there.
Yeah.
Extortion is like whenever you see a list of like when a drug dealer or a mob boss is arrested and it has the list of charges on there.
Yeah.
It's just like they've always thrown in extortion too.
Yeah.
And they probably did a lot of extorting. Just like, man, I would give him extortion too.
Yeah. He's probably guilty of it. Go ahead.
So yeah, they released some pictures of the cast.
Yeah.
It stars Daniel Craig.
Right. Still doing the James Bond thing.
Yeah. I mean, James Bond is just going to be around forever, right?
Oh, I'm
Once
sure.
Daniel Craig's done, they're going to get another one.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep going on and on with it.
Yeah.
I mean, people are seeing these, right?
Yeah, they're still pretty popular. I mean, it's a straight up
Action movie with little guns and invisible cars and robot brawls.
Yeah.
Do they still have, is it Q?
Yeah.
Who gives them all his special stuff? Are they always trying to one-up themselves in the movies with, like, the next crazy thing they give them?
Not particularly.
Here's rocket shoes.
And Daniel Craig, even, he didn't really have a whole lot of that. His 007 is much more down to earth and just uses what he has. He doesn't get a whole lot of super techie gadgets. They kind of got away from that a little bit after Pierce Brosnan.
Maybe that's because I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I should watch some of the earlier ones. Did the Sean Connery ones have that kind of stuff? Like, here's exploding gum.
I think a little bit, but I think for the most part his was a relatively Daniel Craigish as well. He just used his sex appeal and his ability to fight
and his karate chops. Didn't he like karate chop people in the neck kind of to knock him out
when he wasn't smacking women?
Jesus.
Oh, I love me some Sean Connery, though.
Oh, God, you've heard that interview with him, though, right? He did, like, an interview for Playboy in, I think, like, the 70s.
Oh, yeah?
Where he was talking about how sometimes you just gotta hit a woman. Like it was printed in Playboy.
Yeah.
And he's just saying like, well, sometimes you want an end an argument and a woman won't let it go, and
sometimes the best thing to do is just to give her the back of your hand.
Well, and then like in the mid-90s, Barbara Walters had him on 2020 and brought that up.
Yeah.
And asked him like, yeah, what about this time when you said this, 20 years ago? And he got all serious and said, my opinion has not changed on the matter. I mean, it's just like, oh, okay.
I bet that was the end of that.
Well, I mean, isn't it interesting how people can almost get above our scorn in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, yeah, Sean Connery thinks it's alright to hit a woman when she talks a little too much.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that there is a certain amount of...
You're saying they deserve it? Is that what you're
getting
totally. At?
Yeah,
that's fucked up, Brem.
I think everybody deserves a good smack in the mouth once in a while. Everybody, not just women. I mean, everybody at some point needs to be smacked in the mouth and be like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Do you hear what you're saying?
My mouth is literally agape at what you're saying right now. I think you need slapped in the mouth.
Exactly.
You're saying that everybody in the world at one point needs a slap in the mouth.
Yeah.
And if you're the one that happens to give it to them, then, circumstances were there.
Exactly.
You seriously are pulling a Sean Connery.
I know.
In 20 years from now, somebody is going to be interviewing you, and they're going to pull this up and say, yeah, here, you said this. I think everybody needs to be slapped in the mouth sometimes. It doesn't matter.
My decision has not changed.
Jesus Christ. But I guess if we're kind of on this topic of like celebrities being above stuff, did you see my notes a little further down on the stuff with Bill Cosby?
No.
No?
So
you didn't even read my notes?
I didn't get through with them all.
It's one page.
Well, you've already started on it, so might as well go with it.
Okay, so we talked about Bill Cosby probably like a month or so ago, I don't remember.
Right.
About the allegations and whether they were true or not, and we didn't want to speak either way on it.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's coming out that they're pretty true.
Oh, yeah?
There's up to 19 women who have come forward and said stuff.
Yeah. And at this point, I mean, it can't be about money, because I don't imagine that Bill has a whole lot of money left.
I mean, you're crazy if you don't think Bill Cosby has money left.
I mean, I'm sure he does, but I mean, it can't. I'm certain he's not like a billionaire actor anymore.
He's not a billionaire, but I'm sure he's still sitting on millions.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
But yeah, they're up to 19 now. There's a lady who came out just recently. A lady who came out recently named Judy Huth, who has brought allegations against him saying he molested her when she was 15.
Wow.
And the LAPD has now opened up an investigation against him for that. Before all that, they hadn't, but she came forward and they're now opening up an investigation.
Yeah. And
I think that chief of police or head of the investigation or whatever said, if anybody else has allegations about Bill Cosby, come and talk to us.
Right.
Regardless of statute of limitations, just come and talk to us.
Right.
So because of that, they've actually launched the investigation now, so things aren't looking too hot for Mr. Cosby. He has filed a countersuit against Miss Judy Huth for, ironically enough, extortion. I said that like I was joking, but that's actually true.
Yeah.
He's filed a countersuit. So,
and we've come full circle on that?
I mean, it takes a lot for somebody as big as Bill Cosby to get shamed out of the public eye.
Yeah.
It takes, apparently, 19 women to get him out of the public eye.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up. I mean, I guess that's an understatement, because at this point with this many people forward, again, we don't know until it goes to court and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But doesn't it seem like with 19 people that there is some truth there? Even if, say, half of them are making it up.
Yeah.
Half of them are trying to get on the train, as it were. Not the sexual train.
Yeah, thanks.
Cut Cosby money train.
Yeah.
Even half of them.
Yeah.
That's still roughly 10 women who he molested.
Right.
Or raped.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah, of course, allegedly.
But we have to say it.
Do we? Do we actually have to say allegedly? I mean, I'm not saying...
I think legally we have to.
Legally?
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, Bill Cosby's going through his list of all the podcasts he listens to, and he's like, I'm going to put on some Dueling Ogres and fall asleep to. Bibbidi-bobbidi.
Exactly.
I love them Dueling Ogres, boys. And I bet they love the Jello Pudding Pops, though.
I bet they got nothing but good things to say about me. Oh, wow. Oh, but yeah, he molested a lot of women.
Allegedly.
I mean, and of course we're joking about it, not because of actual women whose lives he may or may not have did ruin by drugging them and promising them whatever, you know.
Right.
We joke about it because we're a comedy podcast. Obviously, it's not funny that somebody gets raped. Really. By saying that, it sounds like I'm saying that it's
whenever
funny when
whenever
people
you
get
go
raped.
in to clarify why we think something's funny, you just dig that hole a little deeper.
Dig it a little deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of people who are unpopular, I'm going to take the high road on this one.
Okay.
President Obama,
Yeah.
going back to a little bit of tech news, is the first president
Who is also a cyborg?
who is also a cyborg.
No way.
Yeah, he's totally a cyborg.
Obama, operating black guy, always making amends.
No, he's the first president to create a computer program.
Create a computer program?
Create a app specifically.
Himself?
Yes.
You're telling me Obama sat down in his spare time as president of the United States and programmed an app?
Sort of. They were hosting a computer science workshop at the White House. And he came down to visit, and using Google's Blocky tool, which is, I think it's a programming environment. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'd like to. He didn't actually create a full computer program, but he created a snippet of code himself to, do whatever it did. So
you don't know what the app did?
no. Just that.
What a great news story.
It's just a little in-betweener, Brandon. I'm doing an in-betweener. You've got the stories.
So
I've got the...
is Google's Blocky app program or whatever, is it kind of like making a website with those,
it's Blockly, sorry.
is it like how you can make a website with those programs where you just drag in your pictures and stuff and all the HTML is happening behind the scenes? Is that what this is? Because, I mean, if you're telling me he sat down and fucking programmed something in C++, or whatever they use now. Camel? Kernel? Visual Basic? No? These old programming language jokes not doing anything for you?
I'm just letting you
Hexadecimal?
while I'm trying to figure out what Blockly is.
Just see him there with a bunch of punch cards.
So
So you didn't read my notes. You didn't read my notes
it
ahead
looks
of
like-
time, and you haven't even read these goddamn articles you're referencing ahead of time.
No.
But by God, you got 2 raids done last night. You son
They
of a
are not
bitch.
raids, they're dungeons.
Gotta do a dungeons tonight.
Hey man. I have
Remember
not
the
had,
Shadow Priest.
I have not had time to do a whole lot of WoW. Warlords has been out this long, and I just hit level cap on my main. Come on.
Yeah, well,
Cut me some
it
slack.
does take a lot of time to read a 3-paragraph article.
It does. Well, especially when somebody else is behind me just talking about old coding techniques. So it looks like Blockly is a code created with, or created by like MIT and with collaboration with Chelsea Clinton and the Girl Scouts. And the idea is Google's put out an initiative called Made with Code. And it's to get girls more interested into computer sciences. So basically what I can draw from this is President Obama used a girl's coding program to code a snippet of code.
I bet it was a very adorable program.
And that's all I had for that. Go ahead.
Oh,
Next story.
I did actually read a little bit about this news article.
Oh, you
though.
did?
Yeah, he was so interested in this program that he's already announced the next app that he's making.
Right, what is it?
It's going to be a virus that only affects robotic brawls.
Oh.
he's going to launch it with this big red button that he flips up the plastic on and then slams it down as like the alarm goes off and stuff.
Yeah.
There's going to be boobs everywhere.
That was
It's the weirdest State of the Union address I've ever heard. It's 3 seconds long. My fellow Americans, get ready. There's going to be boobs everywhere. Thank you very much. Mr. President, Mr. President.
That's almost a passable Obama impression.
All right, Christ, what other shit do we have here?
Doctor Strange, man.
Let's be so thrilled. Yeah, Doctor Strange, Marvel movie, November 4th? 6th? 2016. November something.
4th.
4th.
Yeah.
2016.
Did you even read your notes?
I typed them. Benedict Cumberbatch was cast as Doctor Strange, which I was disappointed in.
Okay.
Because I was hoping Keanu Reeves would get cast as Doctor Strange. He did an interview where he talked about how he would like to be Doctor Strange. Yeah, somebody asked him, because there were rumors swirling around for a while who was going to be Doctor Strange.
Right.
And one of the rumors was Keanu Reeves, so somebody asked him. And he said that...
And he said, I quote,
I'd love to do Doctor Strange. That would be a pivotal role.
Did he actually say that?
No.
He just kept saying that he knew Kung Fu.
Yeah.
It really weirded out the interviewer. No, he said that he would love to do a Marvel movie, but he wouldn't want to sign up for multiple movies, and that he liked the name Doctor Strange, but had no idea who Doctor Strange was. Which is just the greatest response, because who the fuck knows who Doctor Strange is? You know, really. Everybody. I mean, we all know who Doctor Strange is, but what do you know about Doctor Strange? Do you know anything? Okay, what do you know about Doctor Strange?
Absolutely nothing. That he's cool. He's pretty cool.
Doctor Strange was born Dr. Stephen Strange.
Right.
In the 1930s. Originally, they probably changed it now. Unless Benedict Cumberbatch is playing like a very geriatric Doctor Strange. What? He became an actual doctor of medicine.
Okay.
Then was in a car wreck and lost the use of his hands.
Okay.
And started to drink and became an alcoholic who performed, this is from Wikipedia, dangerous backroom operations on people. I'm not sure how he's doing that with no hands. Yeah. I guess he's just kind of slapping them around a little bit. Just taping his scalpel to his wrist and just kind of going with it. So he eventually went to study under the Ancient One in Tibet.
Okay.
Who taught him magics.
As people are wont to do.
Yeah. And then there was some stuff in there
my life as a doctor is ruined. I'm going to go to Tibet and learn the ancient mysticism of magic from a fucking monk.
Well, in the story, he met the Ancient One when he was like 8 because of something or other. I don't know. So he knew who the Ancient One was, sort of.
Little precognition.
But then not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But he uses magic. I'm tired of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know how there's always a celebrity that's in the spotlight that's just as popular and everybody loves them all the time, and it's just like, oh my god, put Benedict Cumberbatch in everything.
Yeah. He's
kind of like that for me now. I'm just tired of seeing him. He's got like a big fucking brick face and... But because after Age of Ultron, Marvel announced that the next Avengers movie is going to be part 1 and 2 of the Infinity Gauntlets.
Uh-huh.
Or the Infinity Gem Saga. I read those since the last month that we talked about it. And Doctor Strange plays a pretty huge part in those.
Yeah.
So
I imagine, yeah.
I mean, obviously he's doing a Doctor Strange movie. He's going to be in other stuff too.
Right.
But now I see more of why they were so pushing for a Doctor Strange movie, because he plays... He could be replaced in the story, I'm sure. But yeah, he plays a pretty big part.
Right.
He's kind of... Because a lot of the Infinity Gauntlet stuff happens in space.
Yeah.
So he stays back on Earth and casts spells and gives all of them, like, air bubble spells over their heads, and he, like, stays in his fucking mansion and does this with his hands a lot and casts spells and stuff, so. You know, magic.
Yeah, magic stuff.
Doctor Strange was created by Steve Ditko in 1963.
Okay.
And debuted in Strange Tales number 110 in July. And he was given the name Doctor Strange because he was in Strange Tales. So they were like, man, just call him Doctor Strange. So what we have here is an actual recording of Stan Lee reading, in part, a letter that he sent to somebody else explaining the origin of Doctor Strange. So...
I'll just cue that up and we'll play it.
Yeah, go ahead and cue it up here.
Well, true believers, we have a new character in the works for Strange Tales. Just a 5-page filler named Doctor Strange. Steve Ditko is going to draw him. It has a sort of black magic theme. The first story is nothing great, but perhaps we can make something out of it. It was Steve's idea, and I figured we'd give it a chance. Although, again, we had to rush the first one too much. Little sidelight. Originally decided to call him Mr. Strange, but thought the Mr. bit was too similar to Mr. Fantastic. Now, however, I remember we had a villain called Doctor Strange just recently in one of our mags. Hope it won't be too confusing.
Man, that audio quality is really good for being recorded over 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And I'm also impressed that I'm looking at the transcription of the letter also, and it's off. Because nowhere in here does he say true believer.
Yeah, that's
but in
weird.
the audio he did.
It's like they left it out.
Yeah, I know.
The transcription.
Although I do like in this transcription, he actually says figured.
Yeah. Yeah, it does say
I
figured.
figured something was gonna do something. I realize where that voice comes from.
What?
This voice right here.
Okay.
I always thought it was, or Bree always tells me that it's that old comedian who always goes, Ha-Chyah-Chyah-Chyah.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not where I got it from.
Okay.
That is Frosty the Snowman. I think it's Burl Ives that did the voice for Frosty the Snowman in the old cartoon.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman.
Except that he didn't sound anything
Yeah, he
like
totally
that.
did. Put that hat on me, kids.
He really...
Let's go have some fun.
He didn't. You apparently think that Burl Ives sounds like that comedian from the early 40s.
Go steal me some of your parents' tobacco for this pipe I got. Ya-cha-cha. It's cold as shit. Give me that scarf. Oh man, I'm totally going to use that voice for the intro next time. For our Christmas episode. Merry Christmas. Comedian with the big nose. Is that what you're Googling? Oh, it's like Jimmy Durante.
Yeah.
Jimmy Durante. Frosty
you're
the
definitely
Snowman.
thinking of Jimmy Durante.
Ha-Chyah-Chyah-Chyah. Yeah, listen to fucking Frosty talk.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made.
See, he doesn't sound anything like Jimmy Durante.
Not Burl
The
Ives.
snowman is a fairy.
Not Burl Ives who's singing it. Maybe I'm confused. Whoever did the voice of Frosty. See if you can just find the Frosty the Snowman cartoon on YouTube. Because he talks like that. No, not him, the cartoon.
Well, what do you think of our friend Cornelius? Seems all he thinks about
That's Burl Ives, though.
I'm not talking about the fucking claymation one. I'm talking about the cartoon Frosty the Snowman. The one that ended with the Frosty the Snowman song. Chippity chop chop, chirpity cheep choop. What the fuck's Frosty doing? Ha-Cha-Cha. There you go.
I'm just gonna skip through a little bit.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
See, still...
I said my first words. But snowmen can't talk.
See, still doesn't sound like Jimmy Durante.
Well, where the fuck am I getting that from then?
Probably from Jimmy Durante.
Did Jimmy Durante sing Frosty the Snowman?
No.
Did he sing at all?
No.
Is
Well,
he a snowman?
he did sing, yes.
Is Jimmy Durante a snowman?
I have
Is
seen
that why
him
I'm
sing
getting
in
confused?
movies. Yes, he was an actual snowman.
Okay, that's probably
They had
where
to keep him in a freezer in Warner Brothers Studios.
That's probably where the confusion lies. Bring me some more beer. Ya-cha-cha-cha.
He's just a drunk.
Don't
dude.
forget to shut the door.
It's getting a little warm out there.
I'm a goddamn snowman.
in that California sun.
Why I chose to move to one of the hottest states in the Uniteds. I'll never know. Ya-cha-cha-cha. Bring me some whores. Let me give him a taste of my snow cone.
Okay, let's move on. While poor Jimmy rolls in his grave.
They couldn't cremate me, so they put me in 4 empty bottled waters. They balanced the hat on top and submerged me in whiskey.
Can you please move on to the next story?
That's why you can't get those robot brawls wet. They're afraid it's Jimmy Durante. Ha-Chyah-Chyah, let me get in here and see what I can do with these electronics. Thanks, Obama. Let's get these titties free. Ha-Chyah-Chyah-Chyah.
Oh my god.
Alright. Okay. Oh, fuck. Alright, what else do I have here? Live action Attack on Titan movie announced a month ago. It comes out next year, Japan only release.
Okay.
I'm sure will be translated or subtitled or dubbed or whatever.
Right. That's a pretty popular anime right now.
Yeah, it's popular in the way that, like, Dragon Ball Z was popular, only more so, because I hear people who aren't anime fans at all talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on Netflix, I haven't checked it out. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's playing on Adult Swim right now as well, and I don't get to watch it usually.
They fight big naked monsters.
Yes, basically.
And then one of them can turn into
a big naked monster.
A big naked monster also.
Probably.
So you can look forward to some Japanese dongs live next November. Chappie.
Chappie.
Looks awesome. It's a trailer for a movie coming out March 6th of 2015.
Okay.
Directed by Neil Blomkamp.
Okay.
Who did District 9 and Elysium.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
And also has a fuck ton of shorts that he's made over the years on YouTube. Not shorts as in pants, shorts as in videos.
What? I'm so glad we're almost done.
It looks good, though. The trailer looks really cool. It's about some scientists who make a robot.
Okay.
They teach the robot to learn and talk and love. Then the robot is kidnapped by gangsters for some nefarious purpose. Looks kind of heartwarming. Looks really cool. If you watch Neil Blomkamp's shorts, he has a lot of videos based around what life would be like if we just had robots walking around.
Okay.
So they're really neat. Tempbot is one of them you can watch. Another one is called Tetraval, V-A-A-L.
Okay.
Which is like a 1.5-minute short, kind of, that stars almost the exact robot that they're using in Chappie.
Okay.
Same design. And the movie has Hugh Jackman, Sigourney Weaver, some other people, and the guy and girl from D'Antwood.
Okay. D'Antwood?
D'Antwood, yeah. It's a band. Some music the kids listen to.
I don't know what music is.
Okay, well, there's your first problem.
Okay.
But yeah, trailer's up. It looks awesome.
Speaking of Netflix and streaming videos, Amazon just released for their Prime memberships that you can now watch movies streaming in 4K, which is the ultra high def, which is what they usually record bigger movies in nowadays.
Okay.
So I guess if you have an ultra high def television, you can now watch ultra high def TV and movies from Prime. So that's kind of neat.
Is that more high def than 1080p, right?
Yeah.
This is the 4K that like you can get computer monitors in and they're like really expensive.
Yeah, they're super expensive.
Are we going to hit a point soon where it's just the human eye can only see so much high definition? I mean, are we close to it or is there still further we can go? Do you have any idea?
I honestly don't know. I think, as far as I know, 4K is about as big as it goes right now, period. So.
Yeah, just, I mean, in general. Because there's going to hit a certain point where it's like, it can't be any more high def. Just because the human eye can only perceive so much.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're close. I don't know.
Well, it's still, I mean, Peter Jackson ran into that problem where he was wanting to record in, 60 frames a second, and he had to bump it back down to 30, didn't he? Or did he left it at 60 frames a second?
Yeah, for The Hobbit.
For The Hobbit.
The problem he was running into wasn't that we couldn't perceive it.
Right.
It's just that movies are filmed at slower frames per second.
Right.
Than television. So movies have that movie look, and television has that television look.
Yeah.
Like soap operas and stuff are filmed in 60 frames a second. So the problem he was running into was when he filmed The Hobbit at 60 frames a second instead of whatever 30, people were watching it and just said it looked off.
Yeah.
Because our brains have just made a differentiation between this is what TV looks like and this is what movies look like.
Right.
So The Hobbit was filmed at a higher speed. It looked better. It looked more realistic. But people just weren't used to that. So he screened it at both.
I gotcha. Okay.
So that's why. I mean, that's where the medium will move to. It's more just kind of our perception of like that. It just doesn't look like a movie. That was the complaints that I saw people online when he first screened it at that speed saying.
Right.
Is it doesn't look like a movie. It looks weird.
Yeah.
So.
But you had some stuff about, a little blurb about Netflix, right?
Yeah, there's an interview with
The Chief Content Officer?
Ted
Sarandos.
Yeah. There's an interview with Chief Content Officer of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, who said that ideally within the next 5 years, Netflix will be putting out about 20 original things a year.
Oh, yeah?
Or something about every 2.5 weeks. Either an original movie, or original TV show, or the original next season of a TV show.
Right. It seems like their original content is doing fairly well, is it not?
Well, there's Orange is the New Black, which is crazy popular.
Yeah.
There's House of Cards, which I haven't watched it. Bree watched all of it and really liked it. It's gotten really good reviews. I know there's some original movies on there. I haven't really checked those out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Netflix is doing well.
Well, that's good. Good on you, Netflix.
Good for Netflix.
Good for Netflix.
Score one for the small guys.
Yeah. Let's just hope that we don't get our bandwidth throttled.
And then the final note that I have is the series finale of 2.5 Men airs February 19th at 9 p.m. on CBS.
See, to me, this is the most devastating news that I've heard all day.
Seriously?
Yes.
Do you like 2.5 Men?
I love 2.5 Men.
Even the newer seasons?
Even the newer seasons.
With Ashton Kutcher?
Absolutely.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'm completely joking.
You are? Do you even watch it?
No.
See, I watched the first couple of seasons of 2.5 Men, and I liked it. I mean, I kind of have...
I did watch a couple seasons of 2.5 Men, just sort of in passing, and they were pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that like, oh yeah, 2.5 Men's on.
Yeah.
But I kind of have garbage taste in TV and movies. I mean, when I watch TV and movies, I just want to kind of shut my brain off and just let whatever stupidity wash over me.
Yeah.
So 2.5 Men was good for that. It was something I would put on sometimes, like, to fall asleep to, watch an episode in the background or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it just, my interest kind of died.
Yeah.
In it.
That's pretty much all you can say about 2.5 Men. I'm
just amazed
surprised
that it's still on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Apparently the ratings have been going down every year, but not enough that it's still not fucking raking in money for CBS.
Huh. That's crazy.
So, yeah, it's rumored that Charlie Sheen is going to be in the series finale episode.
Oh, really?
How he's going to be in there, I'm not sure, because they killed him. After the whole Charlie Sheen thing, where the meltdown, and they put in Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
They ended the season with Charlie Sheen there, started the new season with Ashton Kutcher, and it started with, Charlie's character is just dead. He died of, I think he died, like, doing cocaine while banging a bunch of girls or something. Like, they wrote it really stupidly. Huh. And then, John Cryer's character is spreading his ashes out on the beach, because they're in an urn. And he throws them out on the beach and the sand hits them, or the wind hits them, and he just gets covered in his ashes. And that's how they wrote him out. And then Ashton Kutcher was in there. So how they're going to bring him back, I'm not sure. Either in a flashback or, some sort of ghost or zombie.
That'd be
vampire.
I'd go with that. And he is a vampire, so.
So they just brought him back as a vampire?
Yeah. They just bring back Charlie Sheen as a vampire.
So not even as his character, Charlie. Just Charlie Sheen as a vampire.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen the vampire with the title and everything.
Vampire : Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. So yeah, if you give a shit about 2.5 Men,
there's your news for the week.
Your news. It's ending in February.
Just like this podcast. Not in February, but
maybe after this one.
Yeah, maybe after this one we might never do one again. Not our best work, Brandon. Not our best work. Between starting late, interruptions, and robot brawls.
Well, tomorrow I'm going to be found strangled to death.
Yeah, by a robot.
No, the only thing they're going to find is, like, slight watermarks around my neck. Icy cold water.
Icy cold, Burl Ives, watermarks. Jimmy Durante.
I heard you run in your mouth.
I'm gonna beat you to death with a sack of Valencia oranges. Nobody would be the wiser. Ha-Chyah-Chyah-Chyah.
So, if you have any questions or comments...
Wait.
What?
Let's give a shout out.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We're
Let's
doing
give a
the
shout
name
out
shout
to
outs.
Jimmy's.
Jimmy's.
All Jimmy's, dead or alive.
Right.
Thanks for listening.
Jimmy, we're so glad that you could listen to our podcast.
I think you're a pretty cool guy, Jimmy.
I think you're all right. There was that time where you did some stuff that...
You can't judge a Jimmy on his past.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been making strides, and I think Jimmy's doing a lot better now.
I agree. And I'm glad to see that you're really turning your life around. So
Yeah.
good on you. Keep up the good work. And thank you so much for listening.
Those tank tops you wear look fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful tank tops. So if you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to hear yourself mentioned on air, you can reach us on Twitter at DuelingOgres or email us at duelingogres@gmail.com. You can also leave a comment on the podcast page or Facebook, or you can write a review on iTunes, or you can thumbs us up and write a review on Stitcher. I'm having a terrible time saying
slurring that.
review.
Just write a review or just
A review. You can
Write
review us.
a review.
Write a review. You can write us a review, and you should, because that helps to boost us up the cool kids list.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us more popular. I was searching us on iTunes just to see if we had any shout-outs or reviews, and we still only have one. So, it's a good review, though.
Yeah.
Well written.
Mm-hmm. Almost genius level hilarity
I wouldn't go that far.
in its content.
I mean, it made me chuckle a little. You can read that review, and maybe that will inspire you to write a review.
to write
of
your own review.
Yes.
To say, you know what, I can do better than whatever motherfucker wrote this review.
Yeah. Whatever smelly-footed motherfucker wrote that review.
That's oddly specific.
I bet he has smelly feet. What can I say?
Yeah.
So until next week, ogres, keep your clubs blunt and your tusks sharp.
Good night.
Ha-Chyah-Chyah-Chyah.
That's what we need to talk about next episode with Halloween or Christmas, with the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Christmas.
The Christmas place.
Yeah, we'll do Christmas things. I didn't even print up the notes yet. Oh my god, I got here 2 hours ago, and the shit is not done. You let me use almost all of your oil from my car.
Let you come to my house and edit our other show.
And this is the thanks I get.
This is the things you do.
So you know what we need to do?
What?
That's going to make us money?
What?
Figure out how to program for either Android or the Xbox Indie Arcade or Steam and make a sim. You know how there's like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Pizza Tycoon and all these fucking tycoons that are just, well, you have more money, it's time to buy more employees and expand my pizza location to the next location and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
You know those kind of games?
Yeah.
We need to do one where you make a podcast. Podcast sim.
Okay.
You start out with two people,
Mhm.
guys or girls or a mixture or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then as you get more money, you get better equipment, which equates to more listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Then there will be randomly generated things at certain levels of listeners where a new podcaster comes up and talks to you
Okay.
and is like, it's like, a new podcaster wants to join your network. And it'll be like, Tim does a podcast about sports and humor. And you look and you have to check like, all right, what do I have in my podcast network now? I've got a lot of humor podcasts. Sports would be good. Maybe I'll pair them with this other person who is humor and electronics and have them do a podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you slowly build your network, and then you have competing podcasters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole sim. You eventually build your whole network.
That is an idea.
You could even add in, like, as it goes on further and further, add in, like, new technologies. Like, makeup technologies like, holograms. Everybody's avoiding this platform that you focused your podcast on because there's a known glitch or whatever, so people are moving to this, and then you have to scramble like, oh shit, I didn't invest any time in getting onto the Hollow network, and now the Hollow network's big. People would play it. I'd play it. I'd play it all day.
You probably would.
You can have like a little mini game where you edit.
That all sounds extraordinarily boring.
You wouldn't actually edit, it would be like a mini game. Like Snood.
Can you give me an adjective?
Dude, people love their fucking sim games. Tycoon and stuff. Sim Ant. Do you remember Sim Ant?
No, I don't.
Sim Ant.
I kind of figured that that's what it was. But...
You were an ant.
Whoa, what? And here I thought I was an aunt.
I played the shit out of that game when I was a kid. You're an ant and you had to explore the yard. And sometimes randomly the lawnmower would kill you.
So it was like playing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but only you were an ant?
Yeah. So Honey, I Anted the Ant. The more we talk, you give me shit for not having seen all these movies and stuff.
Yeah.
The more we talk, the more I realize that you did nothing with your childhood. Like, you never played any computer games.
I played computer games.
What'd you play?
I played The Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon.
How much time did you spend on Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Now imagine replace all of the, like, building roller coasters and rides and stuff with podcast. You know? Did you ever get bored and make the roller coasters that would kill people?
No, I usually didn't do that. I usually did kill the Sims, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a given. Everybody kills the Sims eventually.
I kind of burped, sort of.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
Why'd you perch on your...
Also stretching.
I was going to say you perched on your tippy toes while you did it.
Stretching my calves.
Do you say Indian style? Do you think it's racist to say, like right now I'm sitting Indian style? Is that racist now? Is it frowned upon to say Indian style?
I don't know. I think I can't even think on whether... I usually say cross-legged.
Really?
Yeah. But I think that's just because I don't think about the Indians sitting in such a fashion.
Yeah, I guess I don't really say Indian style either. I guess it doesn't really come up that often.
Yeah.
That you have to, like, tell somebody to sit like that or refer to yourself as like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
Pop a squat. Hop down Indian style.
Yeah. Why don't you crouch down there and get in lotus position?
What about Indian burn? Where do you think that's from?
Probably maybe Indians tying up frontiers people and giving them a rope burn, or maybe a leather burn.
Huh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe the Indians were a bunch of bullies. They'd like spit in your eye or your ear, and then when you're like, no, they grab your arm and Indian burn it.
Yeah.
Bunch of jerks.
What a
I'm glad we put them in reservations.
Whoa! Whoa!
Going around twisting my skin. What did we ever do to you? What did the white man ever do to the Indians? Well, if you can't get the notes printed, you can just leave them up.
How the fuck do I download the Well, I sent, can you check your email on that?
Mm-hmm.
Go to your email, I sent the notes over.
To my personal?
Yeah. The only problem is it's saved as an XPS, and it's not loading properly on the HTML viewer. I could have swore I had output to PDF on here.
I have an email from you, but it's just a bunch of pictures of your genitals. Is that our notes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I figured we'd talk.
Interesting episode.
I figured we'd talk about my junk. You know, because we didn't do enough of that.
I'm cool. I can't
last
open
week.
an XPS.
Awesome.
Way to go, dude.
I don't know why in the fuck I'd have the option to export as an XPS anyway. Nobody uses XPS anymore.
If there's one thing in this world I hate, Remington, it's a goddamn PDF. Where do you get off?
Sometimes I never do.
What
What the fuck?
What?
Why is everything going wrong?
What went wrong?
Oh, ran out of printer ink. Had to restart the computer so the fucking sound would work. Tablet locked up, have to restart it. Fucking Christ.
Fucking Christ.
Woke up late. Had to fucking go get some cigarettes and some food because I was starving and nick fitting.
Whose fault is that you woke up late?
Yours. For
Yeah.
creating such a beautiful podcast with your voice. And along with mine.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my podcast friends. Hopefully we don't suck. Warning, I might say fuck. Yeah.
I love the notes that you send to me. Here's your goddamn Batman!
It's the only thing I can do to get through an otherwise miserable existence.
It's just send me silly subject titles. I'm bringing the energy on the thing, but man.
I'm full of energy. Full of piss and vinegar.
Full of piss and vinegar.
I am a little full of pee. I'll wait, though.
There's no big surprise there.
Brandon
pees 12 times a podcast.
I just drink so much.
So
because I
never pee.
I drink like a pot of coffee when I wake up.
Uh-huh.
I bring coffee when I come over here in the thermos.
Yeah.
I wait to drink that until I think we're going to start recording. So then I drink, and then about an hour later we start.
Right.
Then I have some soda that I normally have beside me, and then I'll switch to water. Just a constant process.
Yeah.
God damn it, Remington. You with your kickstarts. I'm gonna kickstart your face.
He gets 4 the most.
He gets... You just want to be done with this podcast already, don't you? You're like, all right, tell me your nerd stories, Brandon. Get back to WoW.
I finally got everything going now. Let's get done. Let's get it. Let's bag it and tag it. I love how Brandon, how many times do I have to tell you to not get a glass
That's
cup?
all you had was a glass cup.
There's red Solo cups
I didn't see those.
in the kitchen, right on the counter.
I did not see those. I saw one, and it looked dirty.
You look dirty.
Yeah. You don't want to give me... You want to give me a dirty cup to drink out of?
Yeah.
I'm your guest, and you're like, here, take this old dirty
You're not
red
my
Solo
guest.
cup.
You're my best friend. You are no longer a guest.
You can wash red Solo cups, I guess, but, like, dried soda always gets caught in the lettering inside.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
Well, that's why you get, a proper brush for it that takes that stuff out and you put
Yeah, but then
hot
that
water
kills the point of having a red plastic cup. When you're fucking taking a brush to it with gloves on and scrubbing it, and God forbid a splash of water hits your robot brawl.
in. Yeah, exactly.
It's a fucking nuclear meltdown.
They get recalled for just melting onto the bodies of ladies.
A whole race of supervillains.
That would be terrible. Ruining perfectly good brawls. I mean boobs. I mean bras.
Oh, God. Now I'm just going to be thinking about robot boobs.
Yeah, right?
And we're live. We're back. That's what we're supposed to do on an edited podcast, right?
Yeah.
And we took no breaks right there at all. Seamless.
We didn't even tell them that we were going on a break, so...
Well, it's not going to be in there anyway.
Now it is.
You're in there.
Yeah, I am.
Speaking of unwanted sexual advances, the LAPD has said that anybody who has accusations or allegations against Bill Cosby, come and speak to them regardless of statute of limitations.
Right.
For the investigation that they're doing now from Judy Huth, I think. Is that what it is?
Seuss? Dr. Seuss?
Yeah. Bill Cosby molested Dr. Seuss.
That's awkward. You gonna do your Stanley?
No, you were going to do the Stanley.
Me?
Yeah, that's
No, you...
why it's in bold. Put on your best Stanley impression here, Rim, to read this. So...
Okay.